Good morning, everyone. My name is Seiko Matsumura. I am your host for GIBS. GIBS is the golf industry and business seminars. They are intended for you to get as much value as you can so you can take that into your life and in your workplace. How is everyone doing this morning? Give me a thumbs up if you're having a great morning so far. Before I introduce our special guests today, if you guys are struggling with creating more time with your family, creating time to play golf and play better, and creating more value and getting what you're worth in this industry, you are at the right place. Our first special guest is my husband, Aki Matsumura, and he is the industry leader who is on a mission, and he really wants to help golf professionals, golf coaches in particular, to find what they find their impact, create their value, and create their worth. And right now he coaches golf coaches and committed golfers, and he's been getting results on and off the golf course. So without further ado, Aki Matsumura, take it away.
Thank you, Seiko. Thank you guys for having me. And so I'm clear here. Can you see my screen okay?
Yes, we can.
Okay, awesome. All right, thanks for having me here. Good morning, everybody. And first off, I really want to acknowledge you guys all for being here. I know everybody has super important roles in their life, in their business, the facility that you're at, the company that you're at, and really important roles in your personal life, your family, and like what you love to do. So, I acknowledge you guys for being here and, blocking out the hour of your time to be with us today. So I'm super excited to get this going. And so here's my big promise to you. My big promise to you is that if you go all in, if you participate, if you ask questions, if you're present, you're engaged, you take some notes and not just listening, but like really being present, not multitasking. If you have your phones, computers, emails out, be present here. And I promise you, if you go all in today, that by the time we finish this presentation, that you'll have a blueprint where you can implement like real action items today that will create the freedom that you want in your life. And more than that, it'll help you as you create the freedom, increase the value that you have in the marketplace. Right. And so, is that something that you guys all want to learn today? Right. And if that is, right, golf has been this huge booming thing ever since golf courses opened back up. And it's going like crazy, from whether it's the driving range, courses are like super packed, manufacturers and just getting clubs, like everything's on back order, ranges, and even like player development programs are like going off. And so, to be honest, right, how many of you are feeling it? How many of you are feeling like just getting like overworked? You guys are feeling a little overwhelmed, getting exhausted from being in here, right? And you're not getting, you're not getting to do the things that you really want to do, right? And if you can, put your hands up, because if that's you, right? Like for me, I feel that sometimes even for myself, like I'm one of those that I get a little overwhelmed. I, super busy with what we do. And so, yeah, I totally get it. And as we're getting in there, this is something in my experience that even before the boom, and maybe some of you feel the same way, but even before like all this golf stuff's going on, in this golf industry, we've always been so giving of our time and donating and trying to help and contribute to the golf community and impact the golf world. So, even before the boom, like for me, it's been, I've been feeling a little bit of that overwhelm and, overworked and just wanting a little break. So, this boom, if you guys are feeling it, it's kind of just exposing stuff that's already been there. So, for me, like, if you guys can share in the chat, love to see and love to hear and share with each other, like things that you wish you could do. If you could type that in the chat, what are things that are missing in your life that you're not doing that you wish you've been doing, right? And for me in the past, I used to like golfing more. Right. I used to like spending time with my family, my friends. I used to like traveling back to Hawaii to see my family, just traveling in general. I love going fishing. Right. And in my early part of my career, that's the stuff that I really missed. Right. I love helping people. I love teaching golf and mentoring and coaching golf. But the things that I felt that I sacrificed on my own were those things. So right. Yeah, we still got to do a lot of the things. We got to travel, we got to do the things, but it was always like at a time that what like that was an off-peak time for us, right? For me, being an instructor, coach, right? It's always been like summers were like off limit. Like we'd never go out during the summers, almost never during the holidays, during peak seasons. It was almost like a given that we wouldn't do it. And we'd be finding times where we could just fit it in, maybe after a season or anytime we could fit it in. And so, or if you guys are on here, if you guys can resonate with what I'm talking about, right, then this message and this training that I have for you will be, exactly what you need, right? So over the past few years, right, we were fortunate enough to be coached and mentored by some of the most incredible people, some of the top coaches and business people in the world, right, that were able to show us, what we weren't able to see, right? And then with that path that we couldn't see, actually help us design this roadmap, right? This step-by-step blueprint to get to the lifestyle, the dream lifestyle that we really wanted. So now today, right? Today I play, we play and I play more golf than I've ever played in my life. Today, even coming into the industry where I've been told a lot of times, like, say goodbye to playing golf. And, I believe that for so long. And, now I play more golf than ever. Like now I'm able to spend time with our 3-year-old daughter, Charlotte, and watch her grow up, take her to ballet, gymnastics, and make the memories that I really want to make with her. Right. And, more than that, do things as a family, plan these things out at the times that we want to do it and just schedule it out and do it. And more than that, still being able to make this tremendous impact in the golf community, in the students that we work with, the clients that we take on, and just getting crazy radical results, right? So today I'm here to share, and train you on how you can really have it all, how you can, get the freedom in your life and have and create the impact and the value in the marketplace that you guys want. So if this is something that you guys want, right, then get ready. This is what we're going to be doing. Right here are the 3 secrets to being able to unlocking it all, right? And as we break this down, the 3 secrets are: secret number 1 is knowing your unique heroic identity. Secret number 2 is living in alignment. And secret number 3 is just to stop trying to do it alone. And so as we dive into secret number 1, right? Unique heroic identity. I've spent a lot of years having coaches and mentors in my life that, I'm going to seminars after seminars, workshops after workshops, and, always in search of the best strategies and tactics that I could find. But no matter how much I went to looking for that easy, simple little thing to do and that easy, like, magic pill to take, right? It all came down to the same thing, right? And this thing is called your unique heroic identity, right? This is a term coined by, a gentleman, Sean Callaghy, and his company Unblinded. But, it's also exactly what, Coach Setema has coached us on for the entire time that we've been with him. And you'll be able to hear Coach Setema shortly after me. But, it's what Setema would call like your way of being, right? Who do you have to be to create yourself to get all the things that you want, right? So you know, whether you're a instructor, a head pro, a GM, a tournament director, merchandiser, food and bev, assistant pro, outside service, right? It doesn't really matter, you know, what you're doing in the golf marketplace, right? This is absolutely for everyone, right? So you might be asking, like, what the heck is this, unique heroic identity? And, you know, when I tell you, right, before I tell you, like, many of you may disregard it first off. And, I ask you before I I tell you guys just to be open, all right, and be open to the possibilities and really hear it. Because if you really hear it and you really get it, then I promise you, like this one thing alone will radically change how you view everything and how you start to implement these next steps that I share with you. So, and I promise it'll blow you guys away, right? So, what is our unique heroic identity? Right, and it's quite simple. Your unique heroic identity is just it's the identity that you create for yourself, right? It's what makes you different in the marketplace, right? It's that simple, right? And as one of our mentors had told us in the past, like, and one of my favorite quotes from him is, you know, be in the constant pursuit of less because simple is hard. So always be working towards simplifying everything because that's where the work is. That is what makes it so hard. And just looking at this is, who do you have to be different in the marketplace, right? Because if you're different in the marketplace, then you start playing a different game. And now we start asking ourselves, we're here in this marketplace, what game do I have to play to be different than everybody else? Because if you're a golf professional, right, and you're playing the game as golf professional, then at best, you're going to be living the life of a golf professional, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. But like if you're here on this call and you want something more, right, then you have to start looking outside and viewing yourself as playing a different game, right? If you play the game of a golf course, right, then you get to experience, right, then you get the experience of a golf course, right? And so what that means is we're all viewed through certain frames, right? And frames are like picture frames, window frames, and everyone views us a certain way, and through this frame, right, we're conditioned to be viewed as golf professionals, as instructors, as coaches, as head professionals, GMs, directors, outside service, whether it's food and beverage or whatever, like that role is that we have, is the view that we're seen as. And if we're seen by that, then the value that we're getting perceived is being created by somebody else. So in other words, right, we're not able to create the value for ourselves. Is somebody's creating it for us because we're fitting this frame of golf professional. So on the other hand, right, if you bust the frame, right, and you replace it with your unique heroic identity, right, now you can create the value for everyone else to view you as. Right now, right, you aren't doing what everybody else is doing because the thing that you're perceived as or you're thought to be perceived as is just not true, right? And so when you can do this and you can bust the frame and you can now create your unique heroic identity, now you can start to create the rules of your game. And when you can create the rules, now you can create the value, right? And so here's an example, right? These guys here, they all play a different game, right? One of them has created history and the other is in the mode of like reshaping it, right? These are some places here that play a different game, right? They're doing things that like it's just not a golf experience when you go to these places. This is a different game that they're playing, right? So this brings us back to our question, like what is your unique heroic identity, right? To help you answer this is to answer these following questions. Are these questions like, who are you? What do you do? And why should someone do business with you, right? To help you understand kind of where this is at, like I want to share with you guys my unique heroic identity when I take clients on as, a golf coach and mentor, right? So this is who I am, this is what I do, and this is why people should do business with me, right? I'm a transformational junior golf coach, right? I change the trajectory of junior golfers and their families' life. I teach, coach, and mentor junior golfers and their families to create the success that they want to help them overcome their biggest challenges that hold them back, right? So when you look at this barely says anything about teaching golf, although teaching golf is part of what I do, right? This is something when you look at the general gist of instructors and coaches, like there's not many that do this, right? It's unique to what I do. And therefore, I can create this frame around myself And then I can set the value for myself, because this is something that is just unique to me. You're not coming to just learn a golf swing. You're not coming to, learn just how to lower your scores. You're coming for like huge transformations, right? And so when we can do this, or when I can do this, then, you know, it's creating massive value for myself and the value for my clients and the freedom in my life. Like doing this alone, right, has allowed us to, 10x our business in less than a year, right? It's allowed us to have massive impact and results for the clients that we have, like results that we've never gotten ever in our life, just by creating a unique heroic identity and really living into that identity, right? It's like results like working with a family whose father just could not stand to play with their kids for whatever reason that was. And now they travel all over the country to play various golf courses and take family photos and build these memories, right? Or it's, getting 10-year-old kids, or getting a 10-year-old kid to come in and learn golf and get into competition, but being able to gain over 60 yards in 7 days, right? Going from 123 yards to 190 yards, right? He hit his 1 year goal in 7 days, right? It's about collapsing the time. Like a lot of these things are just not natural results because of the unique heroic identity that we bring to our clients, right? Or another college student that would come in averaging, 4 over 76, right? And then going straight into COVID lockdown, and being in a place where he just didn't want to do anything. And then when things open up, playing his first round at 4 under par, and a couple months later, shooting his best round ever, or tournament ever, a 54-hole tournament of 5 under par, right? And so it's about creating so much value and living to our unique heroic identity, so we transform the people that we work with, right? It's not just about the experience, it's about transformation, right? And having this value creation is what in the marketplace is what helps us create the freedom in our life. So, can you start to see, how value creation, how this allows you to create the freedom and also make tremendous impact in the thing and the love that we have in this golf industry, right? So now this brings us to our secret number two. All right, secret number two to create this freedom and value is, being able to live in alignment, right? And so for the majority of my career, right, I've been a golf instructor who was so passionate about growing the game because, for me, golf has been so special to me. I played it forever. I got introduced to it when I was, barely could walk from my mom. And, and that's why I got into this industry, because it had such a big impact on me. So, if you guys resonate with that, if any of you are in this industry because it made a big impact in you growing up and in your life, and that's what you're trying to pay forward and pass on, like I totally get it. But what was hard for me early on is I got deeper into my career was, I played less golf, right? I got to practice less. Right. When I shared stories with my students to help them understand, right, they were all old stories of what I used to do, right? Old junior golf days, college days, right? How I used to practice, and nothing was current, right? It put me into a place where, I felt so embarrassed, kind of made me feel like this, right? Every time I get asked these questions, like, do you still play golf? And I have to tell them, not that much, right? And they would ask why. And like, I just really didn't want to share. And I'd say something along the lines like, I don't play that much because, I love teaching. I like helping clients like you to grow the game. And, I'm here all the time to help you guys, right? Or questions where I get asked like, what do you shoot? And that was always like a really hard one for me to answer back then because I wouldn't play much golf, right? And for me, I'd have to make up these, not really make up, but like guess based on like the amount that I'm playing, and just kind of say something, but then not to keep myself credible and not embarrass myself too much. I would say something along the lines like, man, one day I could shoot like even par or even, and like the next day I could shoot 85. I just don't play as much as I used to. And say something like that to make myself sound credible to my students. And it was just such a hard thing to do. And, made me feel like, oh my gosh, like I'm trying to inspire these people to play golf and I can't do the thing that I'm inspiring them and I'm wanting to inspire them to do. So, and there was so many reasons, why I really chose not to play golf. And it was at that time, it was my choice, right? It was, I had so many stories, millions of stories, whether it was I was working too much, I was too tired, too many days in a row at the golf course, I need a break, right? I didn't want to play super early. I didn't want to play super late, right? A lot of times, like, oh, I don't want to pay for golf in the middle of the day, right? All of these stories like that I said to myself to just not play golf, but golf was always there, right? And so there was a moment that I discovered that there's this one thing that when I got it, like it opened up the floodgates to everything and allowed me to increase my value in the marketplace and create the freedom because I was doing the thing that I wanted to do. I got to get out and play more golf and get on the golf course more and be current in my marketplace. Right. And that one special thing that I discovered is, that was permission, right? Giving myself permission. Right. You see, it was giving myself the permission to view things in a different way that allowed me to alter the behaviors that I was currently doing. Right. When I altered the behaviors, it altered the actions that I had. And once I changed the actions and the behavior, then the result at the end started to change. Right. I always had these stories like, I want to do this, I want to do that, I'm going to be the best at this. Well, like none of the behaviors ever aligned because I was doing the same thing, telling myself a different story. So the moment I actually gave myself permission to be okay with these stories and just go ahead and do it, right, I started to align myself. And, this permission granted me the gift of getting started to live in alignment, right? So living in alignment, what does that mean? That means that you're being congruent with everything that you believe and you're actually doing it, right? When you're living in alignment, right, everything is easier, everything is smoother, you're happier, right? You're less stressed out, you're less frustrated, right? You start to accelerate towards the things that you really want, your goals and your dreams, right? You create others to be better, and then you start to attract the right people around you, right? And there's two ways that we start to live in greater alignment, and those two ways are, being in vertical integration, that's developing yourself first, right? And horizontal integration. Vertical means developing yourself first, whether that is by challenging yourself, right? And to expand and grow, going through, coaches, books, seminars, podcasts, and just like growing every single day, right? It gets you to dream bigger and start living out those dreams. And horizontal integration means that you're developing the people around you. It's being able to find your tribe, getting with people that are like-minded, that's highly driven, that's committed, right? Right. Understand that the tide rises all boats. So as your tribe levels up, you level up as well, right? And start to live in alignment in every aspect of your life. And then you start to create more freedom in your life. And if you start to live in alignment in the workplace, then you start to create more value in the workplace, right? And so now this brings us to our secret number 3, right? Secret number 3, and our final secret for today, right, is to stop trying to do it alone, right? Just like I've played golf almost all my life. And the progress that I made was through trial and error by myself, right? Like I never really had a golf instructor or golf coach growing up. Like it was my mom, it was some friends and some good golfers that kind of just gave me some stuff along the way. And then I took that piece and tried to run with it and took it on my own, right? Right. I got success in my early ages doing it on my own, but it caused so much like frustration. Like in my younger days, like I was internally frustrated, right? And externally frustrated. I was a young guy that would kind of bang clubs, toss clubs, right? Have that pouty face all the time. And as I got older, right, I stopped those things, but then I still had that internal frustration and no one would know it except for me, right? And so in golf, we've been conditioned to, that it's an individual sport and you have to go through it alone. There's no teammates, there's no coaches. So unless you want to go and hire them separately. So when it came to becoming a PGA professional and an instructor, right, in the beginning, I went at it alone, right? I would get the same bits and pieces of advice and kind of just run with it on my own and see how far I could take it, right? Take these bite-sized pieces. But it wasn't until, it was probably around 2012 or 13 that I attended this Tony Robbins event, this event called Unleash the Power Within. Right at this event, like he said something that I've never heard before, and he kind of blew my mind. And he said, and I'll paraphrase that. I don't know the exact quote, but he said, like, the fastest path to success is to model someone that's gotten exactly what you want and do those exact same steps, right? So understanding that is learning it on my own and trying to do all this trial and error stuff with my own experimentation. That's just wasn't the right way. And since then, right, I've always been in search of the who and not the how. So who are the people, right, that will get you the how in your life, in your business, in your career, right? And where do you find them? You'll find them in a couple of different places. Like, first, you'll find them in your industry and outside your industry. And for me, I've gotten the biggest impact from those outside of my industry because it brought a different perspective, right? A lot of times I got blinded by like what I see all the time in my industry, and getting an outside perspective like was huge for me, right? I've also got it from books, seminars, courses, events, programs, podcasts, and coaches and mentors, right? And so, nothing really beat the speed and the fulfillment of having a coach and a mentor, right? Because you got faster results, bigger results, you gain greater momentum having a coach and a mentor, right? It's the same reason as PGA professionals that, we encourage golfers to get golf lessons, get instruction, get coaches, because we feel obligated, like, to help them get the easiest and fastest path to learning the game, right? When they struggle, it's the instructor, it's the coach, or it's the mentor that's going to help them, break through and continue on their journey, right? So when we look at the power of this, a coach and a mentor and what it does, right? It brings up this flywheel of results, right? And the flywheel, if you're not familiar with it, it's this self-perpetuating gear that kind of, once it moves, it starts going over and over. And what a coach and a mentor, what they really do is they work on reshaping your beliefs, because your beliefs is what sets your actions and your behaviors, what you're going to do, and that creates the result that you're getting. And so if you have this world-class belief system, it does not matter what the result is, because you still have this action that you take that's world-class and that's powerful, that funds and fuels the action. But if you're not currently always working on yourself and strengthening the belief system, the moment you get poor results, then we're not motivated, right? We get discouraged, or we're not as excited. And then that affects the type of behavior and action, which then promotes worse results. And then it takes us into, that downward spiral, right? And so as we look back, right, at the three, or at the flywheel here, and just working on like our belief, that allows us to get that upward spiral that we want, right? And it's, always coming back to developing yourself first, right? So as we look back at the, secret number 3, don't go at it alone, because, right, can you see how much pain and struggle that you'll go through trying to figure it out your own, right? It's not just the pain and struggle, but it really slows down the process, right? It slows down the process for you to get to the dream life that you really want, right? So find the people, find the resources that you need in your life, so you're not doing it alone, right? Model the success of the people that you want to be like, right? The people that have freedom in their life, the people that have value in a marketplace. Find those people and model them. So to recap everything that we went over today and that we covered, is we've learned, right, the 3 secrets for creating more freedom in your life as you create more freedom in the marketplace, right? And starting with secret number 1, right? It's your unique heroic identity. Find out what that is for you, right? And that is the life that is the identity you need to start living into, right? Secret number 2 is living in alignment. Just do the things that you say you're going to do the things that you're telling others to do. Right. And finally, secret number 3 is, stop trying to do it alone. Find your team, right? Find the mentors, find the coaches, find the resources that helps you build yourself. So it doesn't matter like what results you're seeing in front of you at the moment. It doesn't affect the action and the behaviors that's really going to take you to the life and the freedom and the value that you're looking for in the marketplace, right? Each one of these strategies by itself, they're huge for the success in your success, right? But when you start to implement them all together, right, then you start to make it impossible to fail. So do the 3 secrets, start to implement them right now, and then you will see your life and your world transform right before your eyes. Thank you guys so much for your guys' time.
Thank you so much, Aki. That was great. And just want to remind you how much you inspire me and our family. So thank you so much. Our next guest, who we hired last year during a very hard year. We were shut down for 3 months and we were stuck. We had no idea what to do. And we were so lucky to have met him a couple months before at a mastermind, and we called Setema and we said we need help. And he not only helped us, but transformed our whole entire world, from our business to our family dynamics. Everyone's happier. We communicate better. And Setema is also a Super Bowl champion, an author, a speaker, a successful business owner. And what's special about Coach is he speaks from the heart and he loves what he does, and he gets results. So Setema Gali, take it away.
Seiko, can you guys hear me on my phone? Can you hear me? Second.
Let's try that. Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me? Yes.
Yes, we can hear you now. That's good.
Okay.
That's good.
Fantastic. Guys, thank you so much, Aki. I appreciate it. And thank you, Seiko, for the introduction. Grateful to be here. My name is Setema Gali. Look, anytime I present, I always have just 2 simple rules, right? 2 rules when I share my heart, my soul, a message. I'm speaking, whether it's on a stage that I'm sharing a stage with Tony Robbins or Russell Brunson, or I'm on a Zoom call with clients and people that I appreciate. So rule number 1, if you're here for the next 24, 25 minutes with me, I'm going to ask you to be 100% open. Like, just be so open. Right? I get it, right? You're busy. You have kids. You have places to be. You've got a weekend coming up, school. If you've got kids, school's out. Golf season is crazy, right? Aki talked about it's booming. And if I'm going to share something with you today so that it touches your heart, I need it to be able to like leave my mouth, go through technology, and then land in your eardrums and then send signals to the brain so that you get it. But if you're not open, it's not going to work. So my ask of you right now, will you be open? In fact, whoever the host is, if you can allow me to share my laptop here, I would greatly appreciate that. Can you switch that over for me? Thank you. Let's go share. Nope. Can you allow me to share my iPad? Not sure if that's showing up. So if you're willing to be open, inside of the chat box, I'm going to ask you guys to type "I'm open." Will you do that for me? Just type "I am 100% open" in the chat box. Let me see it. Yeah, I love it. Thank you. Thank you very much. Because the only way that we're going to get something done here today in the little bit of time that I have is if you are open. Meaning you're not going to be closed. You'll have an open mind and open heart. Just like if you're coaching someone on the golf course, they cannot come into the conversation. So this is you right here. Okay. Your mind has got to be rule number 1, which is open. opposite of open is closed. I spend time on this because I'm going to share some things with you that you have already heard. Right? I'm not going to share too much with you what you haven't heard, but if you're not open to being able to see something, you don't get the lesson that could impact your world. So rule number one, be open. Thank you. I appreciate everyone putting open. Great. And then rule number two, when I present, is that you go 100% all in, which means put your cell phones away, clear your browsers, get present right here, right now. And if you're willing to do that, like I'm asking you to give me your word, because I can't monitor you, right? I'm not there in your home or in your office, which means you could be watching this and you could be multitasking. Why would you do that? Why would you give 20 to 30, 50, 60 minutes of your time and split your focus? It's like people I see driving and texting. It doesn't work. Now, you might be able to get away with it, right? You might be able to pretend like you're not looking at your phone, but we know. So I can't tell if you are, but if you're going to give me your word, hey, Setema, I'm all in, which means I'm 100% present, which to me means like, just give me your energy, give me your attention, like hear what I'm saying so you can see something, right? If I were to draw a pair of eyes up here, so you can see something, this is like an ear, so you can hear something, so you can feel something with your heart. So if you want to do that inside of the chat box, just type all in. Don't type it if you're not really willing to be all in. If you don't want to be all in, it's fine. You can just sit there in your home and multitask and waste your time. But what I have learned is how I do anything is how I do almost everything. So thank you so much. I appreciate it. And then, by the way, wherever you're at right now, inside of the chat box, give me a city and a state. I think maybe most of you guys are here, obviously in California, but give me a city. Where are you watching? Where are you coming from? So I know where you're at. Just let me know inside of the chat box. Let me know. San Juan Capistrano, Coachella, California. I love it. I love it. Rancho Cucamonga, Rancho Santa Margarita, beautiful. See, I asked you guys to be all in, and some of you guys are still like, do I really put my city in here? Like, this is test number one. We got San Marcos, office in Ontario, La Quinta, California. Beautiful. Thank you. Again, test one. Go all in, be present, be open, and here we are, Oceanside. All right, I love it. I'm coming to you from Ladera Ranch, California. Now, let's jump in here with the next 20 minutes I got with you. Listen. In 2000, thank you so much, by the way. I appreciate it. In 2008, it was November, and it was Thanksgiving. And we were living in this huge home in Provo, Utah. It was like 6,000 square feet. We had a 3-car garage, and like we were up on the hill, and we could see everything, and we were getting evicted. We were getting kicked out. I had 4 years of abundance, 4 years of great revenue, mortgage, real estate, everything in between. And when the crash of 2008 happened, it froze me. Like I was paralyzed. So I lost all our real estate across the country. We had 8 figures worth of real estate. We had great real estate. I had a team. I had office space. I had employees. I had cars. I had homes. I had a lot of homes. And we were losing it all. And in 2009, right, so 2008, we spent Thanksgiving in a Golden Corral. It's an all-you-can-eat buffet. By 2009, Setema is broke, miserable. I had made several million inside of my 4 years as a mortgage broker, banker, real estate flipper, investor, and then we were doing developments. By 2009, Setema had this thing called a Super Bowl ring. I played my professional ball with the New England Patriots. Any Patriots fans out there? My boy Tom Brady. And I was part of the New England Patriots in 2001, 2002. So I was an all-conference guy coming out of college. So I knew how to perform at a high level. I knew how to like go win. I knew how to dominate. Charles Delroy, not. I love it. That's okay, man. I love it. Oh, we got the Bolts. Hey, I like those Bolts too. It was a fun. No, it wasn't. I was right there. Wink, wink. In the Raider game. So, 2009, we're broke. But more than just financially broke, my confidence is shook. Have any of you ever had great success in life, and then got punched in the mouth, hit some turmoil, had some adversity, and like it just kind of rocked your confidence. Have you ever felt that? I was feeling it in 2008, 2009. And by 2009, this thing called a Super Bowl ring, right, the one that started the dynasty, I had to sell it just to put food on the table. As I'm flying to New York City, bawling my eyes out like a baby. I was like embarrassed and humiliated. Here I am in my early to mid 30s, broke, selling off a Super Bowl ring, which is just, it's hard. And I got the cash from that to like put back in the business, and it didn't work. By 2010, Setema was, BK does not stand for British Knights. It does not stand for Burger King. BK stands for bankrupt. You go from making millions, living the high life, $500,000 worth of vehicles in the garage, to my father-in-law had to buy me a car. I was so shook. My confidence was so low that I could not perform at a high level. And by 2011, just giving you guys an idea of who Setema is, I went from Super Bowl champ, all conference in college, best of the best, poster boy, to like multiple millions inside of our mortgage and real estate businesses, and freedom, and just like thinking, God, I've arrived, to kicked out of the home, living in a 900 square foot townhome after having big homes, big cars, bankruptcy, Super Bowl ring gone, and my confidence is at the bottom. Have any of you ever been there before? Have any of you ever just felt like what's going on? I'm a religious guy, so I'm like, God, where are you? Like, what's going on? And it was in 2011 where Setema had to make a decision. Do I continue to live how I'm living? Do I just give up? Do I just give in and just kind of like, okay, my best days are behind me? And here's the first thing I want to introduce to you. I knew in my heart of hearts, the thing that I wanted, okay, the thing that I absolutely wanted, I did not have. Today, in 2021, 10 years, right, a decade. My wife and I, we were moving here from Madera. We just signed on our home in Florida yesterday. Had a guy come over, signed our closing docs, about 1,000 pages, it seems like. And we're moving to a home on the beach in Florida, right on the beach. I walk out my front door, walk across the street, walk onto the sand. I've had the pleasure and privilege of speaking on big stages around the country and globally as well. I've got books. I coach incredible people. Aki and Seiko, I love. They're some of my clients. I coach, whether you're a doctor, a surgeon, an attorney, real estate, coaches, fitnesspreneurs, golf coaches, CEOs, executives. Like, this is all I do. I help people to do this. I'm going to write this on the board, which is I help people to unleash human potential. Right? Imagine all the potential inside you. This is what I've learned. You get to, I don't know, like inside of the chat box, drop your age. And if you're a woman, you can just like subtract 10 if you want. But I'd love to see how old you are. So Aki's 30, again, all in. Y'all said you were all in. 35, I love it. Drop your age. 40, 26, 37, 75. My man, 75, I love it. 49, Nikki, 53. Okay, great. Like, so we got a range of ages. So here we go. Here's what I know. The older, what I've seen is the older you get, if you are not willing to tap into all the greatness inside of you, and you become trained, taught, and educated, you start to just believe this is as good as it gets. People start to do that, right? The old phrase, it's hard to teach an old dog new tricks. And I didn't want that. So in my mind, it's like, okay, I help you to unleash, not just like, hey, let's open, like, Let's let it go. Unleash your potential. Maximize performance. Now, when I talk about performance, I mean like your ability to do the work. And then to go live powerfully and create results that matter. Now, just consider this for a moment, okay? All I've done over the last 45 years of my life, I've mastered some things. I've been hit in the mouth, right? I love what Mike Tyson says. Everyone's got a great plan. Everyone's got a great vision until they get punched in the mouth. And then how do you respond? By 2011, 10 years ago, a decade ago, I'd gone through now 2008, 9, 10, like 4 years, almost 4 years of getting my butt kicked. I just said I was getting my ass kicked. There were days where I couldn't get out of bed. There were days where I just would lay there and just depressed. And I remember even thinking to myself, like, oh, this is what it's like when people feel suicidal. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this. Now, I love my wife, love my kids, but I've gone through some dark times. So it's crazy because like today, again, I get to live the dream. I take my kids to school. I date my wife every week. I find time to meditate every single day. Sometimes that meditation turns into like an hour nap. I've got teams who help me produce. We coach businesses, owners, entrepreneurs, executive teams. I've been a part of coaches who have helped companies go from 9 figures to 10, 6 to 7, 7 to 8. But more than the money side, I love this right here. Like, I love being able to help people unleash their potential. Now, here's the question for you. Biggest question of the day. So that's a little bit about Setema. Biggest question of the day. Let's make a big marker here. What do you want? Magical question. Anytime I speak, whether it's in New York or California, when we run our own events called Immersion, this is the question I ask the most. What do you want? A lot of gurus out there that are going to teach all these cool, fun, nice things, and it's going to sound good. But unless you can live powerfully and create results that matter, like results, I love what Jesus said, by their fruits ye shall know them. So getting back to the question, what do the results of your life look like today? And what do you want? This is what Aki was talking about. Like, what do you want? In 2011, where's my picture here? I wanted what I have today. I had dreams. I had visions. I wanted a lifestyle. I didn't want to be stuck working 60, 70, 80 hours, which is what I did for 3 years to get out of where I was. So the question I have for you is, what do you want? Now, here's what I know as golf professionals today. Here's what I know. After coaching Aki, I have people all around me that golf, right? And they work with golf pros. And I had a niece who's going to Brigham Young University to golf. She's amazing, one of the best in the country. Golf industry right now is taking off. Right? People are golfing. They're out there. And as a golf professional, as a golf teacher, as a golf, anything, any kind of industry that you're in with golf right now, you might be tempted to think, man, I guess this is as good as it gets. Have any of you ever felt that way, right? Yeah, Charles is like work-life balance. Now, I don't really like the word balance. It's not my word of choice. Because let's be real, if you are, especially as a man, I'm going to speak to the men, and maybe some of you women feel the same way, you might feel called to produce. I know some women are like, hey, I want to just be a full-time mom. Great, whatever your flavor, whatever your choice. But as a man, I know that my job is to hunt. Like, hunt buffalo is my phrase, where I go provide. I go bring home the cheddar. I protect, I lead my family. And I know some people, they just kind of get very complacent. And this was me in 2011. I had a decision to make. What do you want? Now, most people, they don't know how to answer this question, because here's the reasons why they don't want to answer it. Number one, they lie. Don't know how to tell the truth. You got to know how to tell the truth, my friends. Now, when I talk about lying or not telling truth, what do I mean by this? If we were to look at your life today, and look, well, I'm the coach that when I get on with the client, I'm the coach that will ask you point blank, tell me the truth. What's not working in your life? Because most people, you go to a seminar, you go to a meeting like this, hey, all is well, all is good. Yeah, I'm happy. They they grab their cell phone, right? They turn it sideways. They take 30,000 pictures just to pretend that life is good. I remember we were at a resort and my niece is taking pictures and I'm like, what are you doing? She's like an hour taking pictures and she posts on her Instagram, living my best life ever. You just sat there for an hour filtering your picture and then you posted it. Well, we were out, wave runners and hanging out and boats. Adults do the same thing today. How many of you just like inside, you're like, I want more. Nothing wrong with being grateful. Absolutely. To me, the greatest definition of balance is to be so dang hungry for something that you want while you're being grateful for where you are and what you have. That's the first thing I just like in my time with you. So it's like, what do you want? Like what kind, and I don't mean like, you hear people, oh, I want financial freedom. I'm like, dude, stop. What do you really want? What kind of life do you want to live as a golf pro? How do you want to feel every single day? I would ask these questions of myself 10 years ago. And I stopped lying. Here's the truth about Setema. I just said, I want to have it all. I want an amazing marriage where intimacy and sex and communication and connection, like I'm in love with my wife. She's not just my baby mama and the woman who, cooks and cleans. I wanted to feel strong. I wanted my body to be a weapon. I wanted to be able to speak powerfully and create and help my clients rise, overcome adversity, overcome like not knowing how or not knowing who or not knowing what. I wanted an abundance of money in my bank account. I wanted to be able to travel. I wanted to be able to be happy. So again, my question is, what do you want? Now, here's what I will tell you. The first step in all of this, just stop lying and tell the truth. Can you do that? And when I say tell the truth, I'm like, well, they're like, well, yeah. No, the truth means this, okay? Truth, let's use a definition here. Definition of truth is things as they really are. What would happen in your life if all you did was tell the truth? Meaning, you told the truth about this thing we call current reality. 10 years ago, I had to tell the truth. What was the truth 10 years ago? Setema was unhappy. Setema was financially broke. Setema was beat up. 5 years ago, I've been in Southern California for 6 years. Love where we live in Ladera. I love what I do for a living. I love how I earn. I love how I build my family up. I love my contributions to my community and to my church. I love my life. 2 years ago, same again, I'm like, where am I? What's the current reality? So for you, before you even ask the question, what do you want? You got to ask this question was, what's the truth about my current reality? How are things really? And look, it's hard to say what you want if you're not willing to look at where you are today. And the way I do it today, in terms of current reality, I just say this and just answer the questions. Physically, what's the truth? Do you like how you feel? Do you like how you look? Do you like your sleep and rest and recovery? Is your body a weapon? Or have you given in? Oh, this is how it is when you get older. I refuse that. Spiritually, or your purpose, or maybe for some of you, your faith. What's the truth of where you're at spiritually? What's the truth? Do you feel like it's lacking? Do you feel good? Or have you just given up and given in to say, this is just how life is? If you find yourself saying that, I can tell you right now, you are stuck and you don't even know it. You can't even see it. Relationally is the word, right? Relationships. Where are you at with your children? Where are you at with your grandchildren? Where are you at with your spouse? Are you connected? Are you cheating? Are you unfaithful? Are you happy? On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 is like out of this world. 1 is like, man, I'm miserable. Where are you with your relationships? How do you feel every single day? And of course, financially, I call this the big 4. All right, this is what I coach on. This is what I teach on. Where's your money? What's the truth of where you are? What's the truth of current reality? These are the questions that people don't want to ask. And this is why people stay stuck. This is why people are like, they just kind of go through life. Year comes, year goes. Hey, look at my Facebook memory. 2 years ago, we were here. And they wonder why they look like they're living in quiet desperation. Once you tell the truth about this, what is my current reality? And then you start to tell the truth about, well, look, what do I really want? Like, what do I want? I call this clarity, right? Clarity is power. Clarity, being super clear, having a clear vision, a clear perspective down to the detail, how you want to feel daily, who you want to spend time with, how you want to live. And, you know, if all you did was stop lying and had someone punch you in the face and challenge you, if all you did was have someone come up in your life and say, look, I'm not here to be your friend, but I am here to help you to create results that matter. And if you really, truly wanted to break free of the path that you're currently on and to find, you know, I love it, like work-life balance. I like to use the word harmony. I'll write the word down, harmony, okay? Which means every part of your working life, everything that you're doing, there's harmony, it works. As a man, I work more than I'm going to pretty much do anything else. And yet I still pick up my kids from school, train them every day, date my wife, I got to walk with my wife this afternoon. I'm living the life I want to live, which means I'm making the money I want to make so I can do the things I want to do, so I can impact the way I want to impact. The whole thing for you is stop lying. And some of you guys might be like, oh, I'm not lying. I'm like, tell the truth about where you are and what you want, or have you given up on that dream? 3, get really clear. Clarity. Clarity is power. Are you willing to go have a transformation and to go to another level, even like in your industry? As a golf pro, as a golf coach, as someone who loves golf, I can promise you now, I put like everything on it. If you are willing to stop lying and you're willing to tell the truth, the real truth, the facts about where you are and what you want. And if this brown dude here that looks like The Rock could overcome everything I overcame and create an amazing life and help my clients, my people, to do the same thing from all walks of life, multiple continents, countries, all the states, like so many people we help, then there might be some usefulness and utility in what I'm telling you. Stop lying, tell the truth, get clear about where you are and get clear about what you want. And if you won't do that, that's the first step. You can actually be on a completely different trajectory. My message is not for the weak or the faint of heart. My message is not for people who want to live in like make-believe land. My message is for people who are willing to do what's required, do the work, get results that matter, so that 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years from now, you can look back and say, damn, that dude was right. Look at how we live and look at how we feel. Look at what we're producing. Look at the impact that we are leaving and the footprint and the legacy we are leaving behind our name. God bless you guys. I appreciate you allowing me to be here. If there's anything I can do to answer questions for you, just reach out to me. Hit me in a DM. Aki and Seiko have my email. I'm on social. But my message is simple. Like, if you've given up on your dreams and you know you want something more, tell the truth about it and go get it. I'm out.
Thank you so much, Coach. We appreciate you and your time. We know you're really busy right now moving, so we thank you. And we thank all of you guys for being on here today. If you want to share your takeaway from today, please share with us. We will, we can put Setema's and our information down. If you have any questions for Aki, he is available also. Again, thank you guys for joining us. We have one more session in this work-life balance next month, June 25th, 9 to 10 a.m. Aki is going to speak one more time, as well as Clint Howard. Clint Howard is a gym owner in Tulsa. He owns Tulsa Fitness. He works with a lot of TPI guys and a lot of professional golfers through fitness. And he is like us, very busy, working a lot, especially a couple years ago where he was like, well, I'm working a lot. I love to work, but I also need to take care of my family and create more time. So please make sure that you put that down in your calendar for next month. And then the other topics that we're going to be talking about in GIBS is going to be on marketing, and then also work and career enhancement. So thank you guys again. If you guys don't have any questions, we are done. And we appreciate your time and for joining us. Thank you guys so much, and enjoy your weekend.